I have been spending too much time in my head lately. The more time I spent there, the more alien I felt in the world around me. Seldom did I hear uttered the kind of things that went on constantly behind the opaque windows between the two worlds from which part of me peered. Too often I found my body doing things I don't recall asking it to, while whoever was supposed to be running the show had been far away, presumably on business. Thankfully, all such occurrences thus far have been relatively normal. Activities I'd found my physical form performing, making coffee, unlocking doors, things of this nature. How long, I wondered, would it take for the bastard in charge to be absent before he came back to find the rest of himself doing God knows what? Too often I had fancied myself poetic, philosophical, introspective. My employer the last 10 years, and up to this point, hated it. He loved for me to ask people about themselves, but never the questions I wanted to ask that would help me understand them deeply and quickly. Always to the point. My humor had always had the same edge. I had an issue understanding the layers people put on top of themselves to ignore the obvious issues they had in life, and instead of embrace or even fight, simply play the part that contradicted reality as much as possible. I'm sure throughout my life, I've asked myself countless times, what's wrong with you? But I could always respond, at least relatively honestly, even if I didn't like the answer. I had been narrating in my head the way I always do after reading a good book. Too long it had gone on before eventually I knew I had to write it. Let me tell you, if you ever thought you were driving yourself mad by following every action in written word inside your head, cataloging, journaling, compiling, remembering scattered pieces of thought throughout each day, old memories that relate to how you would want to present life as it happens. How do you share what it is to be human? So much of life can be wasted trying to figure out whether what people say is genuine or not. This is an overcomplication caused by too many people trusting too many words from people they don't know. Trust me, I'm one of them. Talk is cheap. It's a common saying, for some reason, no one seems to get it. I much prefer the notion that actions always speak louder than words. Save yourself the trouble, I say. Don't bother wasting a penny on anyone's horse feathers. Honesty and sincerity will come out in the wash, and anyone who truly possesses these qualities, and a little common sense, will expect to earn your trust. This is a crowded, one-lane highway, set at a breakneck pace. There is very little room for error. But error we do, because no one knows these things without having been corrected for violating the standard. I don't believe it is an accident that most of these rules by which to follow in order to succeed are largely unspoken, or kept as quiet as possible. If everyone had access to the simple rules of charades necessary to navigate easily enough through the tangled webs woven by life, the entire curtain would be lifted. The man hiding behind would be impossible to ignore. The masks we see all around us, leading us to believe that we are in any way more lost in the confusing laser fog light show that we're all part of than anyone else, begins to melt away. Don't get me wrong, the brainwashing is deep, and the act of removing the blinders can be painful, crippling to some, depending on how deeply tied into the circus they are. I don't think it's impossible or unbreakable, but even that could be my programming speaking. Discovery of psychological tactics used to sway and nudge popular opinion, slowly but surely, had nearly completely ruined most television and film for me already. Plenty of musicians had been playing the tune already for a long time, but in the past you could ignore them, as long as you didn't inspect the lyrics too closely. As times are now, Anyone on the Billboard charts likes to get up and lecture the world about the fly resting on the nose of the beast, waiting for the opportunity to gobble us up. I found it difficult not to believe these celebrities are the very puppets, the lure of the same great, terrifying anglerfish. Only this wasn't found at the depths of the sea, but in every living room, bedroom, purse, pants pocket, across at least the modern or developed world. Practically surrounded on a constant basis by sleeper agents who had no idea that they were the front line in a war they didn't know was happening, to defeat the very means of their only hope. Survival. A grim concept to embrace, indeed. There was hope, though. I was sure of it. While the primary tone that rang out so loudly, so often, was that people are not generally good. We've proven time and time again just how evil we can be, no matter where you hail from. The undertone, that was the hope, was that people were trying. Not everyone, obviously. There appeared to be many of them that were. Enough? Perhaps. Sufficient for hope, I thought. I don't mind applying a little skepticism to maintain a relatively stoic point of view, but maintain that bitterness and negativity never looked good on anyone. Another bit of inspiring intrigue was watching one dodge after another of the smaller networks who sought privacy. No matter how much control over the popular opinion could be had, it was impossible to install the deluge of real data. This provided dangers to those in power. So you started seeing people who exposed corruption marked as traitors. To show ugly facts about a candidate became a lecturing ring. How dare one clean the windows around the powers of the blood smeared, obscuring the torture, the gutting of everything that is human. The truth was everywhere, but drowned out by the illusion of semantics and principle. There were none, of course, because anything could change at any moment. Whatever was said 5 minutes ago is no longer relevant. The amount of short-sightedness it takes to subscribe to this should not be underestimated.